Good morning, everyone. Welcome to New Ipswich Congregational Church Online Sunday School. I'm Pastor Ken, and today we're going to talk more about the Ten Commandments. You should have all received your Sunday school packet by now, except for one, Marashnikov. I think I have to deliver those in a little bit, but everybody else should have theirs. It had a couple of interesting things in it. One was a half a yellow plate, and it had some clothespins, and it had a coloring picture here. We're going to talk a little bit about that coloring picture. You remember last week we talked about the Ten Commandments, and the people were afraid of God, so they said to Moses, "You go talk to him, come back, and tell us what he said, and we'll do everything. We promise." And so Moses went up on the mountain and talked to God, and God said to Moses, "We're going to give you, if they want to be my people, I got some laws they got to follow." And so he made these stone tablets, and he wrote out his laws on them. The stone tablets were really heavy. One of the first laws God wrote was, "You'll have no other gods before me." Moses says, pretty good law. So if you want God to be your God, nothing in your life can be more important than God. Nothing. God has to be first if you want to be God's people. Okay, that's pretty good. And the second one he wrote was, you can't make a god. You can't make a little graven image is what they called it. So you can't take a piece of wood or a piece of clay and form it into something and say, okay, this is God, this is what he looks like, and worship that. God said you can't do that either. If you want to be my people, you got to put me first, and you can't be making stuff up. You can't be making little statues to worship. So Moses thought that was pretty good too. While they were writing out these laws, all of a sudden they could hear a bunch of noise. It sounded like down at the bottom of the mountain, it sounded like people fighting, and Moses was afraid. And God says, "You need to go down and take care of your people." And Moses says, "Whoa, hold on, that's not my people. They're your people." And God says, "Nope, they're your people. They don't want to be my people because they don't want to follow my laws." And so Moses went running down the mountain to see what was going on. Well, what had happened was the Israelites had got tired of waiting for Moses to come back. And so they broke the very first law God had made before they even knew it was. They got impatient, and so they started grumbling to Aaron. We're tired of waiting. Make us a god. Give us something to make a god out of, something we can worship. Well, because they were impatient and they didn't want to wait on God, they put themselves ahead of God. So they broke that first law right off the bat. So they went to Aaron and they gave Aaron all their gold, their chains, their earrings, their gold rings, anything they had that was gold. And Aaron melted it down and he made it into a golden cow. Why would anybody think God looks like a cow? Why would you want to make a golden cow and bow down to a golden cow? I think that's what you're doing in your Sunday school lesson today. You're going to make a golden cow like they did. That broke the second law. They weren't supposed to make anything that looked like God or even what they thought God looked like, because nobody knows what God looks like. He's too big. We can't see God. So God can see us, but we can't see him because he's much bigger than us. Already they had broken two laws. So Moses came up to them and says, "Aaron, what have you done? God's given us these laws and already you broke two of them." And I can't believe what Aaron's answer was. Because one of those laws was you can't bear false witness against your neighbor. What that means, you can't lie about somebody else. You can't lie about somebody else. If you can't do that if you want to be one of God's people. Well, Aaron says, well, the people gave me all their gold and I kind of threw it into the fire, and all of a sudden, poof, out jumped this golden cow. And Moses said, "Yeah, right. You didn't do that. You didn't do that way." Aaron says, "Oh, yeah, we threw the gold in the fire and the cow walked out." Now, you know that ain't right. And I know that ain't right. Moses was angry. So Moses took that golden cow and he ground up the gold and he put it into water and he made the people drink it. And you know what happens to stuff you eat and drink, right? It becomes bathroom stuff. That's what happened to their golden cow that they had worshipped. It became bathroom stuff because God had told them no. So anyway, Moses went back up on the mountain, and unfortunately he had gotten so angry he had thrown those tablets down and he had smashed them. So he had to go back to God and say, they're sorry. They didn't know. They didn't mean. They didn't understand. But can they have another chance? Can they try again? Then God said, okay. So he got 2 new tablets, and he wrote the law out again so that Moses could tell the people what they would have to be like if they were going to be God's people. So today, like those funny people, just as a reminder, you're going to make your own golden cow. Just don't worship it, okay? But you're going to do it as a lesson so that we remember nothing else can come before God, because we certainly don't want to have to take a golden cow and drink it and make it bathroom stuff, right? We don't want to do that. We don't want to have to do that. So you got a coloring sheet, you got a yellow plate here, you're going to make a golden cow, but you're always going to remember the lesson, the commandment that goes with that says commandment number 2, thou shalt not make for yourself a graven image. That means you cannot put anything else in the place of God and call it God. Deal? Okay. God bless. Have a good week, and I'll see you next week. Love you too. Bye.